Hi everyone. So today we are gonna be comparing the picture differences between the Samsung S20 Ultra and the S10 Plus, and let's take a look into the file size next. If we take a look at the file size, for example, on the right hand side, these are all S20 Ultra pictures, and if we take a look at this one here with a 17 megabyte file size for an indoor picture, and whereas an outdoor picture would be typically around 29 megabyte. This one is and the same picture on the left hand side from the S10 Plus. The file size is 4.11 megabyte, and the outdoor picture is 4.50 megabyte. So here is the sample of our first set of pictures. The S10 Plus on the left, on the right is the S20 Ultra. Now when you first take a look at this picture, definitely you may say the S10 Plus looks better, but let's understand this. Let's go into more details to understand this difference. So what I'm doing is I'm zooming in. What I'll do is I'll go in edit mode first. So now I'm gonna zoom in, and I'll do the same for the S20 Ultra. Now definitely when you go into more details, you can definitely see the difference here. The amount of details the keyboard has on the S20 Ultra and compared to the S10 Plus, there is no comparison. It is 108 megapixel. It captures a lot of details. Now one thing we did realize was that the darker areas, for example here, or the TV stand here, the wall-mounted TV stand. Now S10 looked a bit better in when it was zoomed out. Now to understand what exactly is going on here, let's do some analysis and let's do some work around here. So what I'm gonna do is I will increase the shadow, and I will also increase the shadow here. You see these lines here on the right hand side, guys. This is how the texture of this TV stand is, and on the left it's just a pure mess of pixels and no clarity there. So definitely no comparison. Even though the initial picture looked way darker on the S20 Ultra, but the details were there. It was captured. It's just the post processing of the S20. It crushes the dark side, but you can definitely edit them. Just to show you guys that it's editable. Even if some areas gets very dark, you can edit them. It does capture all those details. Now here's the second picture. Now what I can tell for like when I look at them, definitely the lighting was very tricky here. On the left, the S10 has kept more details in the background, whereas on the right, the S20, since it's a larger sensor, it has a better depth of field, so it kept the banana and the tree in focus more, and it has blurred the background. That is how it's supposed to behave. It's almost like a DSLR. But both these pictures, it did not come good at all. But we will still try to understand what is going on here. So the same trick, guys. Let's zoom in, and on the left, the S20 Ultra. Let's zoom in. Now you can see both are terrible here. We'll try to work on these pictures to see if it's just a post-processing or if the details are missing there as well. So we go highlights here, and you can see Already it looks way better. We do the same on the right. We increase the shadows, maybe some exposure as well. Well, it blurs the background totally. Oh yes, I know what to do here. Exposure with reduction in highlights, that didn't help either. So this picture, both of them, it's not that workable. It's pretty bad on both. And what we can do is, this is the best we can do, and definitely more details has been captured on the S20 Ultra compared to the S10 Plus, and also a better depth of field as well. And you can see the background is totally blurred, like way more than the S10 Plus, and that is due to the larger sensor. And also on the front, this mattes and everything, it's much more clear, and that is the power of the 108 megapixel. Some of the reviewers have mentioned that the 108 megapixels pictures are not enough details. So let's understand that what might have happened here. So this picture, the S20 Ultra number 8, I'm gonna open this with a photo gallery, and I'll minimize that, and I will open the same picture with the regular photo software, and now they're side by side. The two softwares have opened the same picture, and we are gonna zoom in, and I'm gonna zoom in on this one. And you can see the difference, guys. One of the software on the left, the regular photo gallery, it's for this software it's too much to handle, the 108 megapixel, and whereas the other software is able to render all the details. So whereas if it's a S10 plus or a 12 megapixel picture, which is smaller in size and less details, this software on the left is good enough for that. Next comes picture number 3, the same picture that we took before, but this time with more close-up. And this is the original pictures unedited. And this time the S20 actually took a tremendous picture, and it did not require any type of editing or anything, guys. It's all reset here at the presets, and these are the pictures right out of the batch. This time it nailed it. The next comparison is of my backyard, and we're gonna find out what's going on here. Technically, when you take a look at this, the right one may look contrasty or over sharpened, whereas the left one will look more natural. But this can be due to your monitor size as well. When you have a smaller display, the 108 megapixel pictures looks to be much more contrasty, which technically is not the contrast itself. It's just how your small screen displays the amount of details here. A lot of reviewers are doing this. They're doing the comparison on a MacBook Pro. Please kindly not do that, if you, because that may not give the correct information here. So here, guys, I zoomed both the top of the shade. This on the right hand side, the black shade, the color, this is actually the right color. It is a black top on the shade, and I just wanted to see if the details have been crashed since the dark area has been crashed here. So what I'm gonna do here is I will put the shadows up a bit, and this is the exact color of my door, guys. And right now you can clearly see the details are there, whereas on the left hand side is just a blurry image. So for sure this can look as a saturated picture to you when you look at it on a small screen, but those who are watching this on your smart TVs or a larger screen like 55-inch plus, you will definitely not see this as a saturated picture or a over sharpened picture. In fact, it's just more detailed. That's what it is. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the picture comparison between 108 megapixel and 12 megapixel of the S10 plus, and I will come back to you guys shortly. So I'll do one last analysis of a picture, and the one on the right here of the S20, the dark areas looks to be severely crushed, whereas on the left it looks more natural. So just to understand this, let's go ahead and do some analysis on this. So you can see this is zoomed in, and let's do the same for the S20 Ultra. So you can see for sure it's way more detailed, but the dark areas looks to be crushed a bit. So I'm gonna do the same. I will increase the shadows, sorry, the light of the shadows. I've been saying increase the shadows many times in the video. What I mean is increase the light in the shadows. So all right, so that's how it looks. And what do you guys think? Is there any contest even between the 108 megapixel and the 12 megapixel? To me, there is no contest. You can clearly see everything here, the amount of details it has. You may say that it might be a bit contrasty, which if we reduce the contrast a bit, you can definitely get that. But again, that becomes something that was not the color, uh, true color representation. So it should be more towards a little bit less contrasty, something like this. But overall, sometimes the contrast, the details may show up in your screen as a contrast if you have a smaller screen, because it's a lot of details, all like jam-packed in a small screen area. So if you see anything like that, please try a bigger screen like a larger TV or something, and you will see the contrast will decrease. It's actually not the contrast or the over sharpening that someone claims. It's technically, it's a lot of information in very small area to be displayed. And certainly certain times the processing of these cameras, they can do a little bit over sharpening, or do less over sharpening at times, but all cameras do that, and all smart cameras basically. So that's all for me, guys, and I hope this has cleared up a lot of misconceptions, a lot of wrong informations that were given to you. There have been people who have been saying that the 108 megapixel is a gimmick. It doesn't do the it doesn't take enough details, and this is the proof for you guys. Subscribe and like, guys, if you want to see more like this. It doesn't have to be Samsung, it can be any phone, could be Huawei and iPhone. So take care, have a good day.